Hello everyone, welcome back. In the last video, we looked at CSS color gradients and how we can create them in our web page. In this video, we'll be looking at CSS variables. Now, CSS variables are things that you can actually do without when you're starting off in your project, but are very useful things that you should know to ensure scalability of your code. Now let's say you have a big project like a website or a web app which has a lot of CSS code, and the project you're working on, let's say it's for a brand and they have a brand color. Now you don't want to start, let's say the brand color is something like gray, maybe a mix of gray and white. Let's say the brand color is this. You don't want to start copying this color code into every button or form or input border or whatever. So there's a way to define your colors once or dimensions and use it throughout your code. Now to do that, we use CSS variables, and to define a variable globally we use the roots. So first add a colon, then roots. Now to define variables, it's followed by two dashes, then your variable name. Let me name this first variable primary color. Okay, and let's put this here as our primary color. Now that this variable is declared, this can be accessed by any element in this whole CSS page. Now I can change this to this variable declaration here, and to do that you type in var, then brackets, then just put in your variable name primary color. Now when we go back to our page, the h1 tag should have a gray border just like this. And the very good thing about this is, if for any reason you need to customize this or change some colors, all you just need to do is come and do it once, and the changes get reflected everywhere that variable is declared, just like that. You can have different variables. You can have a white color, you can have secondary color, and so on. You can also define dimensions, so you can add a dimension for header 1, and you can call that, let's say all headers in your pages of header 1 should be 40 pixels, then you can say header 2 30, and so on. So these variables can now be put into your HTML page to make the elements on your page look more consistent and professional. Now, but let's say you have a variable that you have declared, and you have an element which you want to change what that variable value is locally only to that element. Now what do I mean? Let's say we have, first of all, let's mute everything here. Let's have a clear page. Then we can have a paragraph with some text. Then let's have a button with a class of button1. So now let's copy this button 2 more times, and then we have button3. We can give button3 a class of custom button. So first of all, let's give all these common class names. Let's style our buttons to something that looks better than default HTML button. So we can give this a background color of transparent, and using our CSS variables we can define a border color for all our borders in our HTML page. And you can just come and tweak whichever color you want. And I can go for something grayish. And here I can now come and set the border to border 1 pixel solid, for border color, then border radius of 5 pixels, and let's see how our buttons look right now. Okay, so let's give it a bit of padding. So padding 10 pixels, 15. Let's see the results. Let's make the text a bit bigger. So font size of 16 pixels. So we have just basically a basic button here. Can make the borders a bit thicker. And now we have our buttons. Now let's say we want this button now to have a different color. Now we can come here and get this custom button class, and come here and still get this border styling, but we want this to have a different border color, but we don't want to put in the color code directly. So you can redefine a CSS variable locally to elements. So to do that, the same thing we did here, just type in that variable name and add the value. So I can make this a bit of red, and when we go back, only the buttons that have the class name of custom button will get this new CSS variable value, and that's it. So this is how you can use CSS variables, and you can also declare variables at different screen widths, and we'll be looking at that when we start looking at responsive CSS and how we can make our website look different, slightly different on different screen widths. So that will be it for this video, and I hope you've learned something, and the next video we'll be looking at some CSS advanced selectors. So see you there, and bye for now.